Okay, continuing with these walls here. All right, so basically, okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to we've got a wall in there. We'll put a door or something like that, so you can see. And we'll look at some elevations in 3D in a minute as well. So let's go with let's put a door in here. So here's a door there. If I go over that way, it switches around the other way. But if I don't like that, I can click on these things and just swings around the other way. While I've got these temporary dimensions up, I can also change this. I can make this, say, to be 4,000 from the corner. It's from the internal corner, as you can see by this one here. All right. Or if I wanted 4,000 from the outside, I can click this and then make that 4,000 there instead. Right. So you can. That's how you control that. All right. All right. So that's that one there. Just press escape then, and I can continue and put more doors if I want to. I will also go back and put another wall in here while I'm at it. And just put this 90 wall here, timber. Let's just put that in here. Now you see, as you're going along, you can also see how far in you're going. Okay, so that's one done. All right, so put another one here. And of course you can change this again the same way. If I click this here, it gives me these things here, and I can just go, I want that 4,000. Okay, you get the idea of this now, how it works. All right, where was I? Put a window in. All right, but interesting actually. I'll just drop this window in here, but that's just the size that it gave me here, right? There's a few in here, but what if there isn't one that I like? What can I do? Well, you can change it, and one of the things that I think the project's going to do is going to ask you to change the size of the door to be a certain size. I might just deal with the door for now, for example. Let's go back again to that. So I'm going to put that in. I don't like a 813 by 2134 door. Say I want an 820 by 2040. I can go here and edit the type because there isn't one in here. I can go and edit the type and duplicate this and call it that name, 820. Yeah, I was waiting for that. Yes.
I've done that.
Yeah, well, you do, and you think it's done it, but it hasn't really. All it's done is just given it a new name, but the important information is here. This is the BIM stuff that you can change. So the height is 2040 and the width is 820. The project's going to ask you to do a couple of other things as well, like muck around with the trim and things like that. Oh, not the trim, but the jam. All right, but we'll leave it as is for now. Okay, so here it is. Now I've got an 820 and it's ready for use, so I can put it in here. It does not much different to the other one, but it is more to the Australian sizes. So there you go. Now we've done that. So how do we view this thing in 3D? Well, there's no 3D view here. There's no view cube up here. How do we do it? Well, this little house here under the quick access toolbar, like most software have nowadays, you can click that and it'll create one for you for the first time. All right, and there it is under the 3D views, and you can, if you went somewhere else, you can come back to it by going there, or you can click that again. So here it is. I don't use this little view cube. I use it the same way as I use it in AutoCAD, Shift key and middle mouse button, and you can zoom around. Now, why does that look like that? Well, you can actually, again, it's got different levels of refinement here, but you can click here and you can see it in different way as well. You can look at it shaded, for example, okay? So the way you see these things here is how they print. So, you set up your views, because really what these are now, Revit is a little strange in that way. It's it hasn't got a model as such. Everything's a model, but everything's a viewport as well. So if I set this thing, which here, to be at 1:50, it'll print at 1:50 as well on the sheet. Okay, and if I think that's maybe taking too much room on my sheet, I can change it to 1:100 and it will automatically reflect on the title block. All right. So that's how that works. Okay, so let's go down to the south elevation, and you can see here what happens here. Now I can move this door here. I can normally. Here you go. Click on there, and I can make this one, set an amount of, say, 5,000, and it will reflect on the ground floor immediately. Oh, there it is. It's already still highlighted. If I go to south again, I have a look over here. I can change this level here by clicking on it and making this 5,000, and the walls will grow because I connected them to that level. So it's all associative. All right, so let's go down to the ground floor. Let's have a look. Okay, so that's quickly how you can put in some walls, doors and windows, and how you can change them. But everything you can change, just about everything. Edit the type, even walls, windows. Like I can even highlight this and edit that type and create something else out of this by duplicating it and making a new size. So they all work in similar ways like that. You just have to, once you do a couple, you get used to it. Okay, so where was I now? We're going to go to, let's put in a roof. Okay, putting in a roof, go here, by footprint, click that. All right, it says, you idiot, you can't put the roof on the ground floor. Are you out of your mind? So it's good that it says that, because just about 95% of the time, that's exactly what I do. All right, so it's good that it comes up. Must be other people doing it as well. So no, I didn't really mean that. I want level 1. Yes, you're right, Revit. Thank you. All right. So it will put it on level 1. It's going to attach it to level 1. The base level is now changed to level 1 here. So we should be right. How does it work? All right. Well, you can have an overhang if you wish. Let's make it 600. We can extend it to the core of the wall. Normally we would if we are going to be doing a brick veneer construction, because the core of the wall, the load-bearing part of it, is actually here. But is it 600 from here? Yes, it is. So really, if you want a 600 from the outer bit, you want to go 760 here. That's what your project is going to ask you to do as well. All right, so once we've got our numbers in, enter that. Come on. Why is it not working? Oops, I just clicked on there. It's not what I wanted to do. But anyhow, okay, well, I'll just keep clicking. All right, I'll show you with the slab what I was going to do. All right, so if I keep clicking, that'll close it off. And interesting. Okay, so we've got this. Revit has this idea of sketching and finishing the sketch. So when you see the pink stuff, it means there's some additional menu that came up, and usually there's a tick associated with it, and you can finish it off. Sometimes that disappears. Sometimes you might go behind because you might have come over here, or by default you go behind and you're thinking, well, how do I get out of this grey looking thing? Well, look around, because it'll be one of these guys here where you can finish this off. All right, okay, so if I click on this line here before I finish it off, sorry, let's have a look. Just modify that. So I stop sketching, but I can still go here and modify stuff. Like my roof is 400 thick. I mean, that's a bit too much. I should normally edit the type and create it at 180 thick or something like that. Anyway, we won't go into that now. But if I click on here, it says that my angle is 30 degrees. Here I have the opportunity perhaps to change this to a different angle, say 22, for example. Same with this one. Let's go with this one, 22. All right, and perhaps this one here, I'll say it does not define a slope, all right, which means it's going to be a gable end. And here it does not define a slope. All right, so now I can finish it off. All right, so where's my roof? Well, I'm on the ground floor, remember? I might be able to see it on level 1. I see a bit of it, but best to have a look on 3D. There you go. Still highlight it, but oh bother. Okay, so there you go. That's your roof. I can go here and click on that wall and say, this one here, attach top base. Click on that and it closes the hole. Go here, highlight the wall first, attach top base and click on that. So that will fix that up. So there you go, that's done. Alright, so let's just put the slab on and we're finished with this particular thing. I've got 2 minutes for that. So let's go to the ground level, put a slab on. I'm going to put a structural slab again because it has more options attached to it. I might as well go to structure and do that. Okay, so here, structural foundations or slab. Alright, so it's 150 mil thick. Again, I can edit this. I can change it to 100 millimeters. I haven't got time. I won't do it. So again, is it extend into the wall core? Yeah, it could be. I won't this time, but for your exercise you will. I just wanted to go to the outside of edges, hopefully. Alright, so if I go here, it has this ability that if you highlight this wall here without clicking on it, if I press tab, and I could have done that with the roof, and then I click with the left mouse button, it will highlight the whole outline automatically for me. Once I've done that, and I'm happy with the design, of course I've got the option to go back and say, oh, I didn't really want the slab there, I can move this across and create a carport or whatever, but I'll leave it at that, and I'll go finish, and now I've got a base, hopefully, to the floor there. Let's go back to this here, have a bit of a look. Yes, there's something under there. If I de-highlight it, it looks okay. If I go to the section, remember my section, yes, here's my roof, here's my floor. It's not footings or anything like that. It looks like I can see a window across there through the section, and that section line is taken through the ground level here. We can see where that's taken from through there, and that's that window we can see in the distance in the section. All right. I can right click over that section thing and then go to view, and that'll take me to the section as well. Alright, so that's another shortcut way of getting there. That effectively there, that's my viewport size. It's a little large, and I can play with these things here and change them, so when I then drag this view onto my sheet, it won't take all that room. Alright, so you can play with these settings as well. Look, eventually, and I might just finish this off with there's a sheet in here already, and I'll just drag a couple of these things here just so I can finish this thing off, and you can get an idea of what's going on a little bit. There you go. There's my plan. There's my section, perhaps in here. There's my section, and there's my 3D. I can just drag them in here and just drop them, and yeah, basically very rough, but very quickly. I've just dropped them in there, and that's because this one here says it's 1:100, for example. I can change this one here to be more than 1:100. So let's go to section, section there. Double click on that. You have to double click to get there. Let's change that to 1:50, for example. See what happens. Go back to the sheet. Double click there. Okay, my section is taking a little more room now, so I can just drag it down a bit more. Okay. Yeah, play with it like that. Alright, so that's how we use those viewports. So however they're set up there. So if I change, and you can right click and go in there and activate the view as well. It's a bit like going to the model through the viewport, and perhaps I can change it so I'm looking at it from a different angle, or perhaps I am looking at a wireframe. Alright, I can change that. I can do hidden view rather, if I didn't like that. So if I then right click, get out of that, deactivate the view, go back to my 3D, let's see what we got. How I changed it through the sheet is how it is back on the view. Alright, so what you see is what you get all the time. Thank you. That was close.